Hey everyone, welcome back to the CJ Show. I am your host, Colleen, and I decided to let Gabe come back to the show.
I was invited back, fortunately.
Lucky for you guys. So we'll just wait a second, see who's going to hop on, and then we'll get into a topic that actually is just specific to copywriter today. So we'll just give it a second and see if anybody's going to hop on.
Yeah, and pop that up in our view. I don't know if it's up there or not. Actually, I can't see that part. So it shows that we're talking about becoming writers. Let me actually look here. Yeah, you know how you can pop up those questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, put that up because that'll be good in case somebody's viewing and actually should turn on their sound.
Okay. So you want me to write?
Just like
just whatever.
Learn about writing for copywriter today. As everybody can see, we totally plan these. I mostly do my entire life on the fly.
I mean, it just tends to work out better that way.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. So we'll just get started then. I'm sure you guys have noticed if you follow the page that we are actually hiring at the moment, just because our company is continuing to grow. So what's more to do than to hire more writers? So let's just start off by talking about, so how can somebody become a writer at Copywriter today?
Yeah, so I'll put this down in the comments later or in the post, but we actually have right on our page under About Us, I think that's where it is. I'll tell you guys exactly where it is. Let me pull it up here. We have a page that says, "Do you love to write?" And let's see, it's careers on the menu, but the page says, "Do you love to write?" And I'll actually comment on the Facebook post right now so you guys can see this. But right there, it actually walks you through all the details about how you can get started with us, and everything from what type of things you're going to be writing about to, kind of the expectations. And so you apply on the first page there, and then the second page will take you through in detail how our entire process works to become part of the team. And so that's the getting started point. So it's pretty simple. And like I said, we're looking to hire like 10 or 12 people in the next week or so. So when you're watching this, or maybe you know somebody that would want to write, definitely tag them down below or share this with them. Then that would be fantastic, because like I said, we're growing like crazy thanks to some of the great work by Colleen, which is awesome. And so that's the starting point.
All right, awesome. So then what can a writer expect from Copywriter today when they're actually applying to be a writer?
I'm going to have you ask me one more time because my headset was messed up.
That's all right. So what can that's technology, isn't it? It's just always up in the air. Yeah. What can a writer expect from Copywriter today when they're actually applying then?
Yeah, so when you'll start on the application page just so we can get some basics about you. And then the next page, I think I have a wonderful video of me talking, but there's actually our style guide and our in detail exactly what format your posts need to be in, and how the pay structure works, and then turnaround times, like if we assign an order to you, then how soon we'll need to get it back, and then when you go through that, then the next step is actually where you submit samples that match up to our to our order process, and we give you a couple topics that you can write about. And then once you submit the sample, then one of our account managers, who is in charge of the hiring as well, will review it. And if you followed all the details, then they're going to reach out to you. One thing that I'll point out that's really important to be considered is every single thing in the entire application process. And Colleen, you went through this a while ago now, years ago now, is that every single thing in there, the details are in there for a reason. And it's very important that you take your time and read through those and follow them exactly, because the work that we give back to our clients has to be on point and detailed, and and follow the same standards so that we're giving a consistent product and something that's really high quality. So it's all written out there. People successfully get through it all the time, but the folks that don't, that we don't reach out to whiz through it or don't really, read or pay attention to it, and it's not a good fit. So you definitely need to be detail oriented, but at the same time, you're kind of going to balance that with being fast and efficient and making sure that you can do things in a timely manner too.
Mm-hmm. And not that the application is super tedious or anything, but like you said, there's important details that you have to specifically mention. And I think it took me like 3 solid days just to do it because I didn't want to miss anything because it was totally different from
a regular job application.
Yeah, or applying for some kind of freelance that I've done in the past. Mm-hmm. Everything was just super generic, and the one thing that we should probably talk about is that you make sure that you do checks on these people and make sure that they are actually in the U.S. Yeah.
The other thing is, at this time in the future, we might be hiring in the UK and Australia, other English-speaking countries. But right now, we only work with folks that are actually based in the United States. So you do have to verify that you reside here. And funny you mentioned it took that long because back then, I think we had a little bit of a longer timeline in it. Now we've tightened it up a little bit. It's a little more concise, and we do expect that if you are serious about applying, after we receive your first page step, we get your details and some details about you, then we do want the rest of the application finished within 24 hours. Mm-hmm. Because it just kind of gives us a sense for how fast you can absorb information and the samples that you can submit. Yep. So make sure that when you do apply, you start and you finish so that because when they come in, we're watching. And like I said, we need to hire a dozen people. Mm-hmm.
And once you get that in, generally they hear from you in 24 hours. Honestly, I remember getting it back between 1 to 2 days, like hearing that I got the job. So I was like, wow, okay, well, it took me so long, but I heard back so quick. So I guess that was a good thing that I took a little bit of time. But also, do they still have to write based on some topics that you give?
Yeah, on the final step of the application, there's topics that we update periodically, and one of the other folks on the team does that, so I don't know what they are at the moment. Mm-hmm. But you can choose from a couple of topics, and then you write a couple samples, and then yes, if you're following the guidelines and your writing is up to the quality that we're looking for, then we'll reach out as soon as the next opening is available to let you know. Mm-hmm. If there's a position there. So
awesome. I know we got a question from Una. I put it up there actually. She said, "Tell me something more about copywriting and our experiences."
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for commenting there, Una, and I'll try to answer you. And then if there's something more that I missed or you want to learn more about, just let me know. Copywriting is something for me. I'll give you a little bit of a backstory. I really, really struggled academically as a kid. And when I was really young, I didn't learn to read until I was like 7 or 8. So a little bit later than the rest of the world, I think. But once I did, I really enjoyed reading. And then I started journaling a lot. And I remember journaling. I have like these old journals where I have crazy things that kids think about written down. I still have them today. And so even though I struggled to write too, like it was really hard for me, I did it for many years. And then in my late 20s, when I started to do website development and mobile apps and the marketing work that we do, we started writing for clients. And so we've been writing for clients for years now, since 2007 when we first formed our main parent company, which is called Business Marketing Engine. And then just over 3 years ago, we created the productized service, which is Copywriter Today. And it's a monthly subscription where you can subscribe, and then our team of writers write your content. So your copywriting is blog posts or sales letters or press releases or any type of written content that you need to inform people or persuade them, or even we're working on a course for one of our clients right now. We're writing all the course content for them, and so that's just kind of a little bit about my experience. And so now. We started 3 years ago, and it's just grown aggressively every year, which I'm really, really happy of. I have a great team that makes that happen. And so now I don't do a lot of writing anymore because I'm kind of busy trying to stay out of trouble doing other things. But we have a team of over 50 writers that are all based in the United States and that can write anything you want. And I do really enjoy writing. Here and there, I do write some guest blog posts for a couple partners and friends. And then, I write a lot of our internal documentation and things like that. So there's a new post from me on Founder Magazine, foundermag.com, about validating your business ideas. So that's something you can go find if you're interested. So
there you go.
So great question. Thanks for asking.
Thank you. So then, people think that, they just have to be awesome quality writers, but I'm positive that there are other characteristics that we look for in people that we hire at Copywriter Today. So what are just some of those that you look for? Yeah,
absolutely. That's a great question. The obviously being, you're very welcome, Una. I'm glad to have you on today. Like we mentioned, it's very important to make sure that you're detail oriented, so you're able to read and absorb and comprehend all the details that we put inside of the writer manual. And then we actually take our writers through a multi-step training process now. So we'll train you on how to research and write really efficiently and really quickly, and yet write really high quality content. The other things that we're looking for on our team are folks that are responsive, can be available to respond to our questions and be available throughout the day or night. Whenever you're working, you can actually work whenever you want. As far as doing the writing work. But if we have questions or an account manager needs to ask you about one of your orders, we need people that are going to be responsive. When it's not a good fit is when somebody thinks that they can reply back to us 2 days later, on something. Yes. That doesn't work because although we're all here in the United States, we're 100% virtual team. So we all work from our home offices, or we have writers that sit down on the beach sometimes and write. So we get to work from wherever we want and work virtually, which is really cool. But we do expect you to check in and be, in our virtual office with us every day in the sense of, reaching out and being available. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that we use for that's really cool is we use Workplace by Facebook. So it's like a private Facebook just for our team. So we can chat. We do lives like this all the time. And we do, you're able to connect with our team. And, we have wonderful account managers here that are here to support you and help you and give you all the training and support you need. So definitely responsiveness, attention to detail. We're looking for, people that are honest and, can just tell us where they're at with things too. Because that makes for a good working relationship, no matter where you're at.
Definitely. I agree. So then I know there's dozens of writing services, not just, people that are doing freelancing, but, other people that we're kind of competing with too. But what necessarily makes Copywriter Today kind of above the competition when it comes to, working for a professional writing service?
That's an excellent question. I was talking to one of the gals on our team who came from another service that I won't mention. And I found out, this is insane, I found out that they would write the article and send it back and only get paid if they heard back from the client that they had accepted it, which means that there was no account manager involved to make sure the client was happy, obviously, because it was just completely like in some dashboard or an email. And so they could write dozens of orders and only get paid for 3 or 4. So I thought that was insane. So we don't. Wow. We don't do that. You get paid a flat rate amount of time for the article that you write. That not only have I personally tested every single one of those links, but I've also had other writers on our team test it to make sure that it's fair and possible. So you get paid a fair amount of, in a flat rate time for each order type. And we pay you every single week via ACH. So Friday morning, it's dumped in your account and you can choose from a workload perspective how much work you want. So we have some writers who say, hey, I want to write 5 or 6 orders a day because they want to be really busy and do as much as they can. And then we have some writers who say, you know what, I have another thing that I do during the day and I prefer to write at night. And so they write 1 or 2 orders at night. and so it's great for people that want to earn some extra income. It's also great for people that want to do it full time. So there's it's in that sense we're a lot different. You're not waiting on the client, or you're not waiting on other issues. We pay you every single week. As long as you show up and do the work, we pay you. It's pretty simple, just like a regular job.
Yeah, exactly. And even for revisions, I mean, sometimes it might not be your fault. Maybe the client is just a little pickier than others, and even if it is your fault, you're still getting paid for that revision. Obviously, if you're going to be getting a lot of revisions, then we kind of have to cut that off a little bit for you.
Yeah.
Then you're abusing a little bit, but yeah, that's always something that's always good to point out as well.
Yeah.
My mind's blown about what you said in the beginning about only getting paid for a few.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
Wow.
And they changed that. It wasn't like the way it was before. And so this guy I was talking to, like I said, that now works for us, is she's like, I used to make really good money every week, and then they changed this policy, and now I'm not getting anything. And she's like, I can't work there, obviously. I'm like, yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. But they were probably still like reselling it or something anyways.
Yeah, I don't. The company was still getting paid.
Oh yeah, right.
But they weren't paying their writers, that's shady to me. But
yeah.
So
you guys won't find that here. It's all just laid out on the table. Like,
we're pretty upfront about everything. So
black and white.
Easy. Yep.
Yeah. So then, just to kind of wrap up the writing process for everyone, aside from filling out the application, what are some other things that they kind of need to submit in their application as well? You might have mentioned it before, but
just to recap, in the first step, and like I said, I put the link in the comments down below, and we'll put it in the actual post here once we're done with the live. But if you go to our site and click on the About Us button, and then it says careers, just click on that. So on that page, we're going to get some basic information. Pretty standard application, form. Page 2. I tell you the next steps that you need to go through, and there's a guide to read. The guide to take you 20 or 30 minutes to read max. It's maybe not even that long. And then you go to the final stage where you actually will choose 2 topics to write about and write the samples and submit those to us. So that's kind of the overall, process. Again, on each of those pages, there's details and tools for you that make the application process go smoothly, and also determine if you're detail oriented and you're paying attention. So there's nothing like hidden, sneaky, but just read everything that's there, make note of what's said. And if you follow through those things, then you get to be on the top of the list as far as the people that we're going to reach out to.
Awesome. I think we kind of wrapped up and touched on everything. I don't think they need anything else. Do they? I don't remember if we ask for an ID. Do they have to scan? Okay.
Yeah. Once we, after, not during the initial application, but once we reach out to you and say, hey, we would like to offer you a contract, then you're sent to another site that is actually your training process. So you go through the training process, then you submit your ID for verification. Like I said, we only ask for that if we're actually giving you a contract. So, and then like avoided checks, so we can pay you via ACH and all that stuff. And that there's training modules that you go through that will help you with your writing, and we do ongoing training and have those things available as well. So
yeah.
And the cool thing, we do a writer survey every few months, and when you come on, there's actually a button for the survey that you get to fill out when you're in your writer dashboard. But one of the things that I see over and over in those submissions is that the folks on our team love being able to write about all these different things, so that you get a ton of experience to write about multiple different topics, and that'll really expand kind of your experience level. It'll help you to write more efficiently and faster, and it will just vary what you write about and the style of things that you write about. You might write about a product review today, you might write about health and fitness tomorrow, and you might write about travel.
Marijuana.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first things I wrote about when I came on, and I was like, wow, we really cover everything. I was like, I don't even know about this stuff.
That's kind of a interesting one, because we do write for a couple people that are like in Colorado and stuff like that about that. So it's pretty interesting. So if it's legal, then we can write about it, and that's legal some places now. So
Exactly.
so interesting one.
Yeah. What don't we write about, Gabe?
The only thing we don't write about is like adult erotica. So
Okay.
things like
I
that.
just wanted
So,
you to say it.
thanks.
Throwing it out there.
Yeah, that's the only thing we don't write about. And obviously we're not going to write anything that's like racist or, hate speech or anything negative like that. So
Yeah, right.
we're all positive, happy people and not interested in any of that stuff. So
No. Got to keep the peace.
So you write about tons of, different topics. You get a lot of experience, and, it's a wonderful team of supportive people that, even though we're not sitting in the same office together, you get to hang out and chat and be with us in the virtual sense. So we really work hard on trying to communicate well and support our team.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. All right. If anybody has any other questions, feel free to, when you're watching this again, feel free to comment and ask any other questions, and one of us can gladly answer that, or, reach out to us on our copywritertoday.net page. So if anybody has any other questions, just let us know, and we will be seeing you on Wednesday. I'm not sure what time. Sorry, I'll be honest. 2?
Right.
2? Something like that.
2 or 3. 2. Yep, it's 2.
Just watch our page all day.
There's one. Did one other question pop up there?
Oh, it just did. Yes.
I don't know if this one to answer.
Yeah. Una, she said, how to spot you in the world of copywriting, how to impose employer?
I'm not sure if I understand that 100%, Una. If you want to just go to our Facebook page and chat with us, then I can get that answered for you.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right.
Thanks for asking all those questions.
Yeah, and have a great rest of the day, everybody, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
All right, guys. Have a good one.